All right, guys, so I just wanted to address two things before we get started today. One, I realized I said I was going to start putting out videos every day, and then I immediately skipped a day. That was because I got a new iPhone, which I'm about to explain in this video, and I had to update my operating system on my computer because AirDrop wouldn't work, and that was annoying. But other than that, it's been very little headaches from the phone. You guys can watch the rest of the video and see what's up. I'll also tell you that I turned out to be a hypocrite, and I'll end up discussing that on the next episode. But just go ahead and watch this one, enjoy it, get your life. Oh, just sitting here being cool. What's up, everybody? Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Okay, so I tried a different shot today because I wanted to see if maybe I could make the letters go where they're supposed to go so they're not at my chin like they are on some. It's just like, I'm not an editor, guy. So like when I do certain things, I'm just like, okay, I did it. And so if the letters are too low or too high, I'm trying my best, you guys. I don't have any help over here at Rivera Studios. It's just me. It's just me trying to figure it out on my little lonesome. Well, Bijou every once in a while, but she doesn't really have a lot of creative input. I pressed her. I've definitely addressed it with her. So if you're thinking like I haven't talked to Bijou and I didn't let her know that there has to be some kind of strategy here, she doesn't care. She's not hearing any of it. She doesn't care cinematography, nothing when it comes to Bijou. I accidentally ended up with an iPhone 11 today, and I say accident because I kind of got duped. And okay, so I'm on a family plan with a friend, and I asked that friend to find out what the details would be on me getting an iPhone 11. And he was supposed to give me the details, and he was like, they might be able to bundle us with some deal of whatever. And I was like, in my head, like, I still want to know how much it is, like, before I commit to it. And so he ends up hitting me up, and he's like, what color do you want? And, like, I'm still like, maybe he's just making sure it's available. So I tell him what color I want. And then he ends up, sending me a message that says, like, that he's going to be sending it to me in a couple of days and to send him an address. And then I asked him again how much it was, and he was like, I don't know until we get the first bill or whatever. And it's just, that part is kind of annoying to me because, like, I'm not trying to make his life difficult or anything, but I'm also not made of money over here, and I'm not trying to have bills pile up because I don't want to go on the road again. So I am taking the iPhone for now. He said I can return it anytime I want, so maybe I'll return it. I don't know. It's kind of annoying to me, but maybe that was the universe forcing me to get the new iPhone because I was going to need an upgrade at some point anyway. And so it is what it is. But, like, I'm trying to watch what I'm doing over here. So I don't know if people aren't getting that, but, I'm trying to work as much as possible, but also I want to be local. I don't want to be on the road anymore. If I have to, I will, but I personally would rather be here at home with Bijou, even though. And then I went to Gay Pride tonight. I was performing at Tickle Me Comedy. It turned out that Tickle Me parking was all messed up because of Pride, because apparently that's where they like corralled them for Pride before they went on the actual thing. The parade route is what I mean when I say the thing. And so it was, it was fun because I was working right there, and at first the parking was messed up, but then I ended up finding a parking spot, and that turned out to not really be that big of an issue. I didn't panic about it at any point, but there was a point where I was a little flustered. I was just like, I didn't know this was going to be happening here. This is where this was going to be starting. I thought it was further by Fremont. And so, like, that did mess up my plan, at least at the beginning. But I left early enough, because usually I'm late, but I kind of knew to expect some kind of congestion. I just didn't realize to the degree. And so it was interesting because while I was performing at Tickle Me Comedy Club, there's these big windows, and outside of the windows, I could see the Pride Parade actually starting to happen and take off. And so that was nice to see. Then afterwards, I hung out with two friends, Carlos Anthony, and I can't remember his girl's name, and I know I should, and I'm embarrassed that I don't, but I'm terrible with names, so please forgive me. very pretty girl, very nice girl, very fun girl. I'm sure we're going to be friends in actual life, so I will end up remembering her name. Once I get it, it'll be in there. So I went ahead and hung out at Pride for a while. We actually went into the festival. You know, we watched the parade. A couple of people that I knew from the comedy world, I ended up seeing out there. And then one guy that all the way from back in Arizona, I had met him several years ago. So that was great. And then there was, I went to the Dirty at 12:30 over at South Point just to go check it out and see what was up. And it turned out Quinn Dale was there and Rich Voss was there, who I don't know Rich Voss really well, but the 2 times I've met him, he's been very pleasant. So I was happy to see him again. And then Quinn Dale is always great, really funny comic. But yeah, so then it's just one of the, for me right now, I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I'm staying out. I'm staying busy. I'm doing things that are out of my regular schedule. I went to the Pepper Mill with Chaz Brazlowski and Daisy Ducati afterwards. They're 2 of my friends that technically I met them back in LA, or at least I met Chaz back in LA. And then I really started talking to them once I got here. So it was great to get to hang out with them because we've tried to hang out a couple of times, but something always comes up, Chaz Brazlowski. But even when it comes to that, as long as people are respectful about the way they deal with like canceling, I'm completely fine with that. I'm not a rigid person in that way, you know. I had one friend that I haven't talked to for a while because he did the thing where he ghosted me, and I was like, we're actual friends and you're ghosting me? You don't even have the respect to just send a quick text. Just send a quick, I mean, like, I'm not the person who's gonna be like, you said we were gonna hang out, or I'm not that guy. And anybody that knows me knows I'm not that guy. So if you just send me a respectful, like, you know, hey, I ended up getting caught up, we're doing this other thing, and it's kind of, you know, it'll be too much headache to figure out, then I completely will get that. Especially with the plan we were making was in San Francisco. And I don't really like going to San Francisco anyway, but it's just, and that was the second time that's happened with this particular person. That's what was annoying, because it happened once in Phoenix too. And then when I finally met up with him, the guy he was with was so drunk and belligerent that we literally got kicked out of the Denny's. Well, they did. I had already started to make a dip. You know, I said I had to go to the bathroom when things started to look bad. And by the time I came back from the bathroom, it was like, whoops, looks like everybody's being forced to leave. And I knew it was headed that way because, so it's like, I guess it's the combination of, like, you know, not being good with your word when it comes to, you know, like plans. And then almost more importantly, when you do actually are around, the person you bring around me isn't the best quality. And there were 2 people that were acting ghetto at that table. And I was just like, you know, I'm a grown man and I took time out of my life to come hang out with you. And now I'm watching this person get us kicked out of a Denny's because they don't know how to behave at a Denny's. You know how much you can get away with at a Denny's before they put you out? I could tell you, I'm not gonna, but I could give you some examples of some shit they put up with in Denny's. But, so this fool gets us kicked out of Denny's, or gets them kicked out of Denny's. And, you know, sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. And I told my friend that I'm not mad at him, and I'm not mad at him, even a little bit. I'm not mad at him. But I feel like we need to be a little bit more grown up than that. You know, like, I don't hang out with any truly young people. So it's like, we can do better. And I'm not going to accept less from people that claim to be my friends and that I will make time for. If I'll make time for you, especially in another city, in a whole nother area. I was in the Bay, you know, and I also had these shoes that I was going to give him. I ended up giving them to Marcus Dietz instead. But I had asked if anybody wanted these shoes. They were these Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse inspired. If they were real Mickey Mouse, I would have kept them. But they were Mickey Mouse inspired Vans that I was like, does anybody wear an 8.5 or whatever they were? 8.5 or 9 is either size that I get. And so I asked that, and then he said that he, wanted them, and I barely wore them, so they were cool and stuff like that. And then I just happened to have them in my car because I was supposed to see him in like Phoenix or something like that. And then instead, he ended up being in San Francisco, and he's the one that hit me up because he saw that I was in the Bay. So he was like, "What are you doing? Whatever, whatever." Then we had a quick chat back and forth, and it was like, "Okay, then we're gonna meet up. This was 4th of July. After the fireworks, we'll meet up." And I had already done my fireworks thing, and then just like nothing. And it was like, I even have these shoes for you that I want to get rid of. Because for me, like, people don't get that. Like, when it comes to me putting stuff on Facebook, if you follow me on social media, you know that I'll post on Facebook that, I'm giving something away. I mean, I want that shit out of my house. That's what I mean. I don't want it in my space anymore. I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it. Nothing to do with it. So if I'm traveling with it and I have a chance to unload it and you don't want to take it right then I guess I got to go on to the next customer, because I'm not selling this shit anyway. So really, me saying customer is very generous, because I'm not ever asking any of these people to pay me anything for anything that I say that I'm giving away on Facebook, not even in any way. So, if I can deliver these shoes to you, even that would be a blessing. I'll drive by and throw your fucking shoes out the window, bitch. There's your shoes. And so it was a double kick in the balls. Derek, you know who you are, Derek. I love her though. She just fucking tried me that way. But that happened, yeah. So anyway, let me not get off on a tangent, but I've already gotten off on a tangent, so. Anyway, I just said I would make a video. I didn't say it would be interesting. I didn't say it would be good. I didn't say it would be entertaining. I said that I would make a video. So, if you don't feel good about your life, I don't know what to tell you. I tried my best to inject a little bit of personality into your miserable ass fucking day, and this is the thanks I get. This has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Happy Gay Pride, everybody. Wink, wink.